Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Kim.
In this video, we're going to be talking about second and third grade Latin and all that Latin entails for co-teachers on home days. So, can you tell us about what is the Latin curriculum and what materials are needed at home?
Absolutely. So just to start with, I want to talk about why, for just a few seconds, why we even do Latin at Gloria.
Oh, yeah, because it's definitely not a common subject curriculum for second graders.
Absolutely. So Gloria Deo's goal with Latin is twofold. One, we use it to teach English grammar because English grammar has exceptions to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's always I before E except, right?
Yeah.
So Latin is actually English grammar, but without all of those exceptions. It's just the regular.
Okay.
And so we actually use our Latin program to help our English grammar. And we also use it to develop our vocabulary because something like 80% of English words come from Latin, either through French or another Romance language or directly from Latin. And so we do a lot of Latin vocabulary and we also do grammar.
Okay.
And so that's kind of a why. But what they need at home in second and third grade to be successful with their Latin is a Song School Latin book, either Song School Latin 1 for second grade or 2 for third grade. And it is turned into your teacher, and your teacher actually cuts the binding off. And what you will get is packets of those pages stapled together.
Okay.
So the book comes to school and you'll never see it.
And this helps because then the student doesn't have to bring the book back and forth to school.
Exactly.
So it's just kind of nice. The teacher just sends home whatever chapter they're working on.
That's right. And it allows the teachers to grade that chapter while the next one's at home. And just there's a lot of benefits to our teachers and our parents and students by breaking it up.
Now, it's good to have either the CD or the MP3 downloads of the Latin songs.
Yes.
Home days.
Yes. Our book list asks for you to get the book that has the CD in it.
Okay.
But if you get one without and get the MP3, that fulfills your
yeah. I like that because then I can just play it from my phone.
Absolutely.
I don't even think I have a CD player.
I think I got them before MP3s were big, and so I just ripped it onto and downloaded it on my phone. So I did kind of a little of both.
Now, what's the lesson plan routine for Latin? How is it taught in class? Do moms have to teach any Latin on home days, or how does that work?
The wonderful thing about Latin at Gloria Deo from second grade all the way through sixth grade is that you don't do anything at home except memory work.
Okay.
So
just helping my students study the memory work.
That's right. There's two parts of the memory work. There are flashcards for vocabulary, and they come home in flashcard form, but they also are in their red binders. So there's a glossary in the red binder in second and third grade that has all of the words. Mm-hmm. And in third grade, we even go further by having a second document that will tell you which words we're going to test. Because there's a lot of words introduced in third grade that they won't use again until fifth or sixth grade. And so we aren't going to put the investment into learning them yet. We're going to expose them to them, but we're not going to test them on it.
Okay.
Really just focusing on what's going to prepare them for fourth grade.
Okay.
And then, so those will be in their red binders. You'll get.
So at home, I've got my flashcards.
Yes.
For my vocabulary. What's the other? You said there were two things for memory work.
Yes. Yeah. The other thing is what we call our memory work catechism, and
just for Latin.
Just for Latin. And if you open your red binder, open the Latin section, you will see this document that starts memory work catechism, and it's a series of 30-something questions.
Questions with the answers.
With the answers. And what is expected at home is your lesson plans will tell you which questions to be practicing. And you ask the question and your student answers them.
Okay.
And most cases, we want them verbatim.
Okay.
There's some, when it comes to a definition, there's a little bit of latitude. But when it comes to the chants, when it comes to other things that they will be using directly, those will need to be verbatim.
Okay.
But it really is just a question and answer.
So I, as the co-teacher, I ask the question, and my student, and I don't let the student look at it, and the student should be able to say it back to me. If they can't, we practice it a couple times until they can.
That's correct. And even after they're tested, you're going to want to be going back periodically, maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, depending on how well your student knows them, and keep it fresh. Because what our second grade parents should know is that those catechism questions will follow them all the way into 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
Because those,
It's actually laying the foundation and then you continue to build on them. You don't necessarily
That's right.
get new questions, fresh new questions every year. They build on each other year over year.
that's right. And so once you get to 4th grade and 5th grade, you will get a few new questions and you will start going deeper. Like you'll start introducing pronouns and other type things that you don't cover in 2nd and 3rd grade. But everything you've memorized in 2nd and 3rd grade will apply to 8th grade.
Okay.
So it's important, and they do it year over year, and it becomes
Now I've seen that because I had a fourth grader this year. And so now that they've had Latin second, third, and fourth, where like the catechisms, they felt easy.
That's right.
I mean, there was some new stuff in there, but so there is hope. So if you're a second or a third grade coming into Latin, know that it's not all fresh in you every year. It builds. And so the work that you're putting in now definitely pays
Right.
off later.
and second and 3rd grade Latin is super fun. It is song based. They watch little.
They do. They have a good time in class.
Yes, and they watch 60 to 90-second videos from Simeon the monkey. It's called My Pet Monkey, and Simeon gets in all kinds of trouble.
My students say Latin's their favorite subject.
Oh yeah,
They're like, Latin's my favorite. And when people who maybe neighbors don't know that we, do education a little differently, they ask my kids, well, what's your favorite subject in school? And they say Latin. And you always get that weird look on their face. And I'm like, yeah, my kids like Latin.
Yep, absolutely. And so 2nd and 3rd grade Latin is a lot
It's
of
fun.
fun. And it's really meant to be low tension. And we really work to make it very attainable and accessible to our parents at home.
Yeah.
And the promise we make you is that if you memorize at home, we'll learn to apply at school. And in 2nd and 3rd grade, there won't even be much applying. It's really just memory work, even at school, so that we can then apply it in 4th grade.
Okay. And then is there a difference between second and third grade Latin?
There are minor differences between 2nd and 3rd grade. 3rd grade goes a little deeper. There's a few more vocabulary words. They start to involve grammar a little bit more, but overall the same expectations, same flow at home matches.
Okay. So on home days as a co-teacher, I'm going to help my student practice their memory work for Latin. And then once a week, they get sent home just their practice packet, which they've already learned the lessons for it. And they complete that on their own. And then I just help look over it, grade it, make sure it's done to completion and turn it back in the next week.
Absolutely. The biggest thing that y'all can do with that packet as a co-teacher is to make sure it is done well. And even if you don't feel comfortable grading that it's the right answer, to be able to just make sure it's been finished.
Okay. Thank you. And then you talked about why we study Latin. It reinforces grammar and vocabulary. And then also this is a component of a classical education too.
Yes.
Studying Latin is a part of a classical education. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. And where can teachers go to have more questions about their child's Latin?
So your Latin is actually taught by a different teacher than your classroom teacher. So if you want to reach out to your classroom teacher, they can get you in contact with the Latin teacher, or you can contact them directly.
That's all we have for Latin. Thanks for watching.